Starving
People
rush.
take your shifts because you're hungry.
Well, keep track of the observer. We've got Chad on the buttons today. There's a feature that that Rush was doing, Chad. He just doesn't call them by the player name, just by numbers, reduces them to numbers. And we'll see what Hex can do, because forward catch is safe. Breno able to come back, and Jeorge is no longer with us on the server. So a 4v4 established and a push in towards autimatic, and Walco is still in this fight from behind of the apartments. The bomb needs to get out of there, needs to get out of the danger zone.
MIBR is overcomplicating this a little bit. Get out, plant the bomb, and then worry about flanks and taking market control and such.
Trying to figure out how much they can play with here. Breno going deep towards the market line, expecting someone here, and there is going to be Junior waiting, slowly pushing in, but ready. That's a crispy one. This is a better looking EG right now. Kicking it off with a pistol would be nice, wouldn't it?
They've actually matched their previous score already, so it's a great start, and it is going to be Exit trying to prevent that from happening, but they will get that first round of the board, and autimatic on the board in the first round of play. A little different than the previous map, so I think
that's the best round EG have played.
Yeah, that is actually the best round they've had.
In the whole tournament or this series?
I think this series. Sorry, guys. So Rush, I'll let you know, Rush is back. He's eating now, so I shouldn't have to do this for too much longer.
What's he got for lunch there, Chad? What's he
looks like he's eating some olives. I do see
he is an olive
some
lover,
potatoes. That looks like fish. I'm not a big fish fan, so I won't be getting catering today. All right, anyway, round two.
Well, there's always the two types of protein because, you know, just in case people are allergic to fish. You got an option there, Chad.
Chad's allergic to fish?
No, but he said he didn't like it. But I'm just saying that there's two types of protein.
He eats sushi, though, so he's a liar. Just like his friends Rush.
Sushi is super nice, though.
Oh, great nade. That is value.
Oh.
That is huge.
That is sick from HexT. Right through the smoke. Breno could do nothing about it. Smoke comes in, blocks off insani, and this is actually a really scary buy for MIBR. Considering they got the bomb plan, they get a really strong force buy.
Yeah.
It's a massive opening for EG, because this round could definitely get out of hand.
Yeah, now it gets a little bit weird. Alright, Save doesn't take any damage there and gets the tag, so now they'll have some space to work mid. Or will they?
Oh, Jeorge sniffs himself out a drop. And now push through the ramp coming through from EG. He's going to be the final attack out from insani. The MAC-10 gets the first kill, but does not best the MP9 of Hex. There's still two players up here for MIBR, and in particular, the weapon I'm interested in seeing is Safe's AK-47. So he's moving in towards this B site, wrapping his way around the back, and it might actually pay off here. If the Brazilian can get that AK to light up a few kills in the final 35 seconds of this, this could be a round, and if he shoots right now, he did have a lineup of two players. He doesn't know how close he is to a round-winning play. And the flank through the apartments, Walco eventually has arrived.
Exit has a flash for him too, but...
Oh, Safe's got it. He's got the kill on the bin player. Now Exit coming up from short. Needed a bit more of that from Safe, and it will be a 2-0 start for Evil Geniuses. They've doubled their score here, so fantastic work.
Yanko, talk to me. In a situation like that, is the element of surprise more important or just trying to fish for what you think could be lurking behind that smoke?
EG did a good job of being patient and not overextending. You see Hex playing for time, right? His teammates were nowhere near him, and MIBR was also slow themselves, trying to wait for a sort of a mistake that they could punish, but that never came to fruition.
Here goes Jeorge, or Jorge, as Rush called him a little bit earlier on.
Ignore what Rush said.
Exactly what Rush said. What do you made of Chad's observing versus Rush's, Yanko?
I can't tell a difference.
I think it's because Yanko, Rush is actually back. Yanko's back too. That wouldn't have been an incorrect statement.
I'm still going.
Okay. See, maybe, just maybe, it isn't as hard as Rush makes it out to be. And now he's there fuming for me saying this, and he's like, oh yeah, but it's Mirage. Of course he can do it on Mirage. Let me see you do it on Nuke. And then I did it on Nuke yesterday, and he was out of argument, so.
There he is, Rush, enjoying his lunch.
Olives and fish, almost as salty as Twitch chat. Now, what are we going to get going here? The boost in window is torn to shreds, and EG races here. 3-0. Lots of damage done to the EG members.
He wasn't hitting everything, Mac. He was not hitting everything, though, without the Eagle.
Wow. I think I've got one more round, and then Rush should be taking back over. I don't know, just get through this first gun round.
This is a gun round. Will you be able to handle it?
I hope so. I know that Breno will be the aggressive mid player. Exit's going to be setting up safe with the AWP. We're looking for picks. Insani is going to be the A lurker, and Drop will be the B lurker. So that is what I'll be taking into this round from the T side perspective.
I'm sure Rush knows all of that too.
Rush knows the numbers. He's a numbers man. A quick play from Drop down into the underpass. It is Junior who will be looking for an opening move in towards short side. Slow passive default here from MIBR, just sitting all the way back at top middle, waiting for EG to make their move. MIBR obviously had a really lightning hot start over on Ancient, but more of a tentative approach to Mirage so far from them. All with 1 kill each. Junior's had enough of just sitting back in the short position. He wants to get a little bit more aggressive. It might pay off here for Junior, but he misses the shot. Now he needs to get back to safety, and he will do exactly that into the connector. And MIBR have middle.
What are they going to do with it is the question I'm asking. autimatic and be able to get away with that and his life. 53 points of health still there. And rotating into jungle. The full reposition, and EG happy to play retake towards A with this A main control.
Well, Junior has repositioned back to B already, and a great shot from the American sniper. He wants another one, but he repeaks, and yeah, you don't like to see that. Safe was waiting for that repeak and nails him, punishes him. 30 seconds left for MIBR as they move into the site desperately. There's one player at van, one to the back of the site, and HexT, he's been waiting in behind this van for the whole damn time. And it's going to work out for HexT. His patience will pay off, and it's 4-0.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed what I had to offer here today. I'll be putting Rush back in the seat, so have a great day.
Thank
Can
you
we
for
get
your
a visual
service,
of you picking him up and putting him in the seat? I'd love that.
He's got too big these days.
That's really good, Chad. Thank you so much. I think now EG is playing some proper Counter-Strike, right? Like we've seen in some of the earlier games. You saw Junior with early mid aggression doesn't work out, but then Walco, no, HexT flashes mid from B for autimatic, who peeks, gets a kill, they lose mid, they take A main control, people rotate back to B, you know, they're being proactive, they're getting the information. The only bad thing was the repeak from Junior because his teammate was coming with a flash, so someone could have flashed for him and then he could have peeked. This was a little bit too brave. And we'll see how they'll fare with this A hold.
Oh, it is the standard A execute, and Walco out from the back of the triple box. Instant execution onto Breno. Sees his second victim at Tetris. Everybody's favorite game, apart from Counter-Strike.
Drop playing his own game here. A sneaky one. Almost Assassin's Creed with a flank like that. However, spotted over towards the bottom at mid, and EG very far from being out of the round. But the same can be said for the Brazilians. MIBR just letting that clock tick down, letting EG use every bit of util.
Drop's got the Darth Maul Tech 9, and it has not worked out. Jeorge turns around, Drop somehow doesn't get that kill, but Insani will help, and it's going to be a 3v3. Pistols still have a shot at winning this one, but they've got to get through the off of Junior, and a missed shot from the Gungnir.
They do have all the members here for EG. You can see HexT worried that maybe there's a late flank coming through. And Junior again posted on the line. Walco spotted underneath the balcony, going loud. But he's not going to be able to find the double spray down. Still a chance for either of these teams. But HexT is showing up just in the nick of time. And there's no control on the site to get that bomb down. 5-0. EG waking up deep in the second.
A little bit labored from EG in that round. But they get it done, that's the most important thing. You could see even like on the, I think it was Walco, waits for a flash to come in from his teammates, then peeks, gets this here, really nice and clean. Uses a defensive smoke after that, keeps buying time in these rounds, that's the most important thing. They won't have a lot of utility, so if you can deny them the plant and their smokes pass, the round is much easier from that point on.
Well, timeout taken for MIBR, and Bit is reading off the strat page at the moment.
Well, I think it's probably just another default, but maybe a little bit faster paced for MIBR this time around. I think it's could be too early for them to just switch into a, you know, straight up execute or something along those lines. And EG probably doing something aggressive based off of the spawns. Jeorge had the best spawn, 2 players jumping down mid. There we go.
Quick mid take coming in from MIBR. It is going to work out for EG though. 3 kills, and the round has just started. Well, it's pretty much over at this point. That mid fight, 50-50 head-on fight, and EG come out on top. Now Hex waiting on top of the van at the B site, the most boring position in all of CS. Some might argue. It's going to be a slow burner right to the end. We have a full minute here, Mac.
Yeah.
Anything interesting you got up to today before the show started? I know you were traveling around Malta.
Straight from the deadlift platform back into the studio, still sweating. It was rough. I did have a shower in between, and it was worrying me. But meanwhile, while you two were just talking, there's this new thing going around called voice cell. I don't know if you guys saw it.
No, I haven't.
It checks if you are a deep voice Chad, and the level is 85 hertz for a deep voice Chad. Chad is 100 hertz, so we'll see if that's accurate when we check Chad later. You're a voicel if you are 130 hertz, and above it, it's Jova. So you guys were both mid at about 100, 113 hertz median.
What's my blood waffling about?
He's called us mid, bro. Like,
No, actually, the app called you mid.
well, you read it out, so...
How about you do your job, Matt?
I was a deep voice Chad. I'm doing my job, man. I'm talking.
I feel like if you are closer to the microphone, it would help.
Of course.
So...
You can have a second chance later.
I'm going to have a second crack at that. We'll see if I can get the numbers up. But all right, Hack's starting to get loud now. He's actually winning some rounds, so good to see that.
He's got that cheeky grin going, so he's feeling it. EG looking like a fresh-faced team, 6-0. But we've seen some crazy things happen here so far in the B group of ESL Pro League Season 18, and this could be another one of those funny affairs.
Yeah, I'm happy that Hex is in this team because I think he injects a good amount of personality into the team, right? It would be too quiet across the board if it wasn't for him, you know, having a bit of personality, willing to chat a little bit of shit. You know, it's good to see. Woo, here goes insani. Well, he definitely got the objective of rushing B. Unfortunately, all of his teammates rushed B and stopped, and they've gone away because of the utility. They can look for plan B.
I love the change in pace, or at least the attempt of it.
I think what's cool here, you know, you saw that last round, MIBR did try to, you know, they had 4 guys mid, so they anticipated maybe EG is going to keep fighting for mid, so let's send more bodies. They just ended up losing out on the fight, and EG hit some great shots.
Yeah.
So now it gets a little bit more tricky for them in terms of calling, right? What we talked about on Ancient, you want to exploit and take advantage of your opponents having a lot of confidence and, you know, feeling it. So I think, for me, what would be the best call for MIBR next round? And you always want to feel your opponents, like you always want to make them feel smart. So if I'm MIBR, I'm next round, I'm making it look like I'm faking default and popping A, let's say. So I'm just throwing like a top mid smoke and a flash and make it look pretty weak. Then I throw bench stair smoke or maybe even top con jungle smoke, and I use 2 guys to throw all of their util, right? Maybe even 1 guy to show up ramp. Just really try to sell that fake, and meanwhile I have the rest of the team just running out top mid and running out cat and taking that space and hopefully catching someone off guard, or at the very least getting a lot of real estate. Because right now EG is probably thinking, you know, we stopped them default a lot. They need to make some sort of an adjustment, and that way you're making them think they're right, but actually you're sort of baiting them a little bit. Ooh. Also, it is legit for MIBR to be like, hey, let's just try that damn default again. You know, we need to win that fight. Everything else is more difficult to do.
Are we seeing exactly what you expected?
I think they're just going to go away, really, or try to walk out taps. Let's see.
Baiting out some early util from EG. 2 smokes, 1 molly towards the top of mid, and another resmoke at con. EG trying to fake that they are fighting for mid, but you can see that they are making a bit of a misread here. Getting aggressive up on the balcony. 2 men pushing straight deep into apartments. And in comes the smokes for the top of con and window, making it maybe EG think that they are in the right position, but meanwhile MIBR just contacting out on the A site, taking names and maybe taking their first round.
The bomb plant.
Perhaps that smoke in abs giving them a false sense of security. Hex gets a kill on the flank, but I feel like they're way too far. They're too far from the site, and actually their money isn't amazing considering they're 7-0 up. So probably best to not chase any further.
Well, MIBR finally have their first round on the board. Yesterday we had a crazy 1v5 attempt from KD, and I think the community reactions were interesting to look at yesterday. A lot of people believing that that clutch with the Deagle would have been the best in CSGO history, Yanko. Would you have agreed with that if he had pulled off that 5th kill?
I think it's a disservice to these teams, Dinko, for you to try to swap the discussion to a team that's already eliminated for the tournament. They're playing for their lives here. EG is one map away from being out of ESL Pro League, and you want to talk about Cadian's 1v5 attempt in a game they lost?
Yeah, I do actually.
That's the best you have for me?
Yeah, it was kind of a sick, but I guess you don't have an opinion on it.
Get your shit together, Dinko.
All right.
This is embarrassing. All right,
really Rush, how are those T-shirts going? How are those T-shirts going, Rush?
Don't worry, they're being printed right now, bro. They're being printed right now.
Beautiful, hot off the press. Well, let's see if MIBR can double it down here. Looking like we are going to see the run boost out mid, but the molly stops them in their tracks. Looking to go for a later approach now. Second time's the charm. Going right on across, and that top mid smoke as well hadn't faded, so EG not aware.
And you can see, you look at the minimap, you've seen Jeorge and Walco are playing close, right? Because they're thinking, okay, maybe they try to repeat the same thing. So you want to be in front of the executor, some pop play, you have a double shadow setup, right? So that's a little bit unexpected as well for the T's if they do that. But that leaves obviously more room for MIBR to work mid, which is exactly what they're going to be doing. Second round of smokes comes in. And EG has to make a decision here. Do they push the sides? Like, do they push ramp and apps or something like that? You know, you can't just stay in limbo now and give them all this space and not react. But we do see Walco inside ramp. So they are prepared for this split.
Insani coming out of Palace. It is going to be autimatic sitting back at CT.
Nice.
A double kill from autimatic. Lovely shots coming in, and now drop left, and he can't really do anything. So MIBR find their first round in the previous, and then immediately they follow up with a loss. So we might be seeing EG walk away with a big win.
And it's all a matter of a few seconds. You saw how Jeorge was able to use the incendiary, right, and some counter utility towards connector, and then he just manages to slide away and autimatic comes CT as the apps guy is coming out to trade him. If that all happens like 2 seconds faster for MIBR, they might be able to get a kill on him.
Wow, that was kind of long.
And that split could actually work for MIBR, but...
Do you want to have a guess at who that was?
I'm gonna say HexT.
Ah, you were wrong.
Wrong. Who was it?
It was HexT.
HexT?
Yeah, man.
All right. Just let it out.
I had to look over. It was long enough to
just all the energy built up over the rounds as a coach. Just wanted to let it out.
I think they're just sharing up the old vocal cords, you know?
Yeah.
Big tactical going to be coming through.
Would you say at your time as a coach, Yanko, you were sort of emotionally suppressed, you know, sitting behind them? You know, there was times where you just wanted to let some frustration or excitement out when you're standing behind them?
I don't think I was suppressed. I was miserable or ecstatic a lot of the times. It's hard to be suppressed, right? And I had players who were also, you know, getting fired up and stuff, so didn't really, you know, if I had a bunch of, I don't know, Finnish people on my team, probably no point in getting too fired up.
Taking jabs at everyone today.
No, they're just more reserved.
Yeah.
I think here, if I'm MIBR, you just sort of have to give up the default a little bit at this point. You know, it's just not been working. Even though you're getting, even when you get the space, the endings don't really work out. So try to play a little bit more grouped. I mean, you won that one round, and sure, it was a little bit of a surprise for EG, but you're 8-1 down. Just try it. Maybe that's something that works and something that EG struggles with, and you can get 4 or 5 rounds. That's all they can hope for at this point.
Well, speaking of grouped, there's 2 teams getting eliminated today. And that's a good start from Walco for the 10th here. Nice aggressive positioning. And
What is happening? This is like the most one-sided map again. It's going to be a chance for 9-1 here. Junior out from Ninja Box. He gets away. He's going to run all the way back to safety at CT where autimatic covers off his retreat.
I don't know, Dinku, if you were paying more attention to the game instead of thinking about Cadian's 1v5, maybe you would know how this has happened.
Well, that is true, Yanko. It's just burned into my mind, that sick clip. But it was more of a rhetorical question. More of a rhetorical question.
I'm sorry this is boring for you, but...
You know what, Yanko? Let's go full serious cast then. You know, I'll throw everything I've got into this one, since it's all full survival on the line. MIBR in the 2v4. Breno's down to 10 HP. Take it away, Yanko.
Nice, Dinko. This is all you have. The best exit can hope for here, I guess, is some damage. There's still a smoke on HexT, and yeah, he just can't win even the first fight.
Well, sick retake. So that's going to be Evil Geniuses up 9-1.
Your options are really limited, you know, when the opponent is ahead by this much and different things didn't work and they're playing with a lot of confidence. We already talked about how you try to maybe use it against them. Another thing you can try and do is try to bait out some early utility by making it look like a B rush or a B pop, then slow it down, sort of throw some mid nades so it looks like a default and just try to swing B if they don't have, you know, if you did indeed bait out that utility, try to just have the numbers game, you know, or just a straight up A rush.
Well, Junior's kind of stopped that right in his tracks, and here goes Walco out from default. It's a couple of kills for Walco, and that's another round. It's going to be 10-1 for EG. Wow.
22nd round.
Really wish there would be like Acadian-like 1v5 attempt here from Exit. That would be kind of sick.
I need to say, EG, their utility, this map's so much better than what we saw over on Ancient. You could see there were timings, like especially you're looking at that last round of that first half, where autimatic, he had flash lineups, throwing them, they just weren't connecting. This time, you've got great protocols. I think it was Junior there, just popping the flashes across to keep Walco alive and let him just swing, do whatever the hell he wanted there from default, picking up a couple of kills.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of, you know, a Hail Mary really from MIBR, but at this point in the half, I don't mind it at all. But that's how you see these set plays, you know, it can look really bad when it doesn't work. But let's say Junior was actually window, and if Walco was playing CT, well, then that would they would probably be able to get the bomb down and make something happen. Unfortunately, this is sort of the perfect counter with the Opera managing to get a kill before he really gets flashed, or even if he does, that's an easy angle, and then Walco is default, which is perfect position to play against the people coming out ramp, you know, because they can't really punish him. He waits for the utility. It was also a flash from autimatic coming from somewhere, and Junior from CT. At that point, he gets a couple of freebies, and that's why it looks so terrible for MIBR.
And for the most part, on the A-site defense, we've seen them playing relatively aggressive. You see them going double towards A main, double shadow, like you mentioned, just playing really into the site. So if they did get locked in, if the util was a little bit better for MIBR, you know, in towards the site, not just trying to lock them out, lock them towards CT and jungle, then it might have gone a bit better this half for MIBR, but EG, with the aggression, it's working, they're playing confident, and it's started to let them feel themselves, which might be the answer for them to get back into this series.
The most important thing for EG now is to not get complacent. In this round in particular, right? Don't lose now to Tech9s or a Deagle or something, and don't make this 10-5. Right? Like,
yeah,
I feel like the least,
we see that too
the least
often,
they should get should be 12-3.
Well, the B-pop might work. There's a double setup of rifles in towards short. Both of the smokes have come in for market window and door, and the executes in, but there's no follow-up behind it. So you've just used all your utility up, and you're not really popping with it. So now it's just going to get really difficult. You really are relying on this flank from Breno to make something happen on the Tech9. And Automatic's turned back at the right time to check it, and it doesn't even matter. He still loses the fight. It's the Tech9 for Breno. The body shots him away. And now with a lot of time still left, MIBR can start to trickle into B instead of just pouncing out.
The reason they're not going B is because they didn't kill the B player.
Yeah.
So they are aware it's, you know, two more
waiting
guys
on the smoke
there.
to fade so they can split him, right? So you get that rifle in from market and through the apartments at the same time.
And HexT has been playing wonderfully so far. Only dying 2 times, and there's that third. Breno going to be able to make that backstab happen. Jeorge trying to stop the cross to sight. We'll find one. Oh, almost gifted another here. Exit playing with fire, but in the 3v4 EG, they're still thinking about this. They've got a decent amount of cash in the bank.
I mean, it's looking very good for MIBR to close on the second round here, and it might become that reality that Yanko was talking about, right? The fact that they could now have a chance to 10-5 this half if EG don't pick up this retake. They're still staying in on it. They're still going for it, but they're running out of time, and they're not getting any kills. They're doing quite a bit of damage with the utility. They're using their nades up, but they're falling like flies. Just drop Tech 9, swats them away. It is now just Junior on the AWP. Shot is good in the first, but not landing any follow-ups, and they throw everything in. They give a lot of upgrades to MIBR to have this AWP, have these AKs. Take whatever you want into the next round, and that's going to be a second picked up for MIBR and a chance now to try and build into that 10-5 half, which is the best case scenario for the Brazilians.
And this was a sick shot from Better Anazan, but I'm not really sure about that peek from HexT. It seemed like, I don't know, it just seemed off. Like you know he's there, so I feel like if you're peeking into that angle, you're almost pre-firing it, right? But it seemed like he was a little bit caught there, and that was the kill that really made the round incredibly hard for EG, as MIBR is now picking up the pace.
How does it feel, Yanko? You've wielded the caster curse, the legendary power of the caster mic. You've actually made this a reality for MIBR to come back at 10-5 this.
Well, we'll see. It's about for EG to show some character here and win the round right back.
Oh, that's a good transfer from Jeorge. Stays on the spray. Impossible in CS2 according to the fans, but Jeorge has done it here. And go. And now we've got ourselves a 3v4. It is EG, thanks to that play, up a member.
Good recovery from EG.
If MIBR can maybe get some presence over towards the A site, there's still that util to lock out EG, isolate some fights, and EG, they've got a couple of flashes to get back in. And with the form they're bringing in so far, I'm liking their chances at a late retake. But MIBR, we know they're solid. With that bomb crossing to sight with some presence over towards CT, and that pick, that might be the difference maker in the round.
Yes, indeed it might be, Mac. Here they go again. EG having to play the retake. Failed to do so last time, but this time they have the player advantage. Not a lot of utility though. There's only one flash left for this retake attempt. And insani pushes deep in towards CT, catches Jeorge, and what a recovery. Yanko said just a few moments ago, but EG have fallen apart again. And now this post plant, it's looking good. Safe has had a very quiet Mirage, but this AWP is now loud and proud. It's got itself a double kill to close it. And what a turnaround from MIBR to get a third up on that board.
Who's getting loud now?
Not HexT.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately for EG, you know, I don't really like it when teams give up that much space, but they did a good job of playing passive in these rounds with advantage. This was the mistake from Junior. It's if your teammates, if you're already given them the site, then give it to them and wait for your teammates to come along. He's the only player at CT at that point, so he gives too much space. There's no one there to get the trade. You should just wait for that push, hold it from tank, really, from CT spawn, while your teammates all group, and then go for the 4v2 retake, right? If you're already out of position and have to give up the bomb site. So I think after he died, at that point MIBR has the advantage in the 2v3 situation, because Safe has a lot of freedom to peek for kills. And yeah, just emotionally a massive round to win for MIBR. They don't get reset, they win a 2v4. EG takes a timeout here, understanding, you know, I mean, HexT is on a 5-7, but everyone else has, there's 3 M4s, there's an AWP, but if they lose this round, it's pretty much 10-5. And you want to try and still win at least a round.
Oh, and a movement. There we go. He got back up. Jeorge into the ladder room. And MIBR, they want to go for a heavy set piece out of spawn here and towards this A bomb site. It's going to be the standard smokes coming in. Sweating out that ramp smoke thrown by the CTs. It's now gone, so here comes the reply Flashes will follow, and Junior likely to cop a flash in the face here. He's going to be blinded and go for the shot anyway. Just about misses. That would have been a big defensive kill, but it has not come through here for EG, and he goes into the re-peek. Once again, punished by Safe for doing so, and now that's the site taken for MIBR. One of the biggest guns for EG on the defense is gone. And this is now looking very likely to be a fourth in play. There's not a lot of options for a retake here, Mac.
Yeah, not a lot at all. But the numbers... And what we need to focus on here, and EG know if MIBR chip them down too much, then you're looking at the economy, EG, they need guns in the next round, and they know an 11th would taste that much sweeter. But without guns, MIBR have that much more of a chance of stacking on 5 on the T side, which arguably can be par depending on the team. And this game is only just getting started.
We'll see. I mean, even if it ends 10-5, that's still a really good half for EG, right? Even though MIBR is the one that will end the half with some momentum, if you end up winning the pistol and converting, that should be more than enough rounds for you to work with and close out the game.
Well, what are we expecting to happen in the final round of the first half here on Mirage? Looking like MIBR are turning their sight towards mid.
What position on Mirage do you call diggity, Mac? You know, there has to be one on every map, right?
If there was a diggity, it's probably like, usually it's like a short A, right? So you're probably looking at A main, somewhere around there.
All right, cool.
Lots of little corners, lots of little places to
like
stand
a ramp,
up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if there had to be a diggity, it's probably right where Insani is right now. That's the diggity check, if. But theoretically, anywhere can be diggity if you want to.
Yeah, literally anywhere and everywhere will and can be diggity, I suppose, Mac. That is the law. And this big control being established for MIBR, there's no resistance coming in from EG. And, I mean, we've seen Junior miss some shots with the AWP. Now he's got to do it with a scout. Oh, it's going to be tough having to face off against Safe like that. He does land the shot. If it wasn't AWP, he would have won that duel. But Safe just has the bigger weapon.
Oh, Hex playing a dangerous game. If he can maybe get an upgrade, be helped out by Jeorge to take that first contact, then maybe they can get this one drop. Could have heard that jump up as well. How's his ears is what I'm wondering. He's knowing there's players close there.
Oh, they don't check for Jeorge. Oh, Jeorge! There we go. They recovered it.
That's the 2 for 1.
Where's Walco? He's coming on over in that rotation. Jeorge still in the apartments. Hey, Georgie! Here he goes. Nice shot onto exit, but traded out by Breno, and now Safe is watching for the walkout from Market. It's a really strong position here for the Brazilian AWPer. There's no utility, no flashes at all to get him off the angle, but now they might be able to double swing him. And the scope is at the ready, misses the shot, and it's going to work out for EG right at the end. They're 11-4 half from the North American side. They've recovered in map 2. Can they close it?
Katie nails the shot. 3 kills from the captain. sweep remains supreme.
11-4, Evil Geniuses certainly have recovered this series, and they might make a meal out of it and send us to map 3. There's some believers, though, that MIBR can come back into this. Mac, are you one of those?
I certainly am. We saw what they could do on the CT side of Ancient. And this game, as I said earlier, is just getting started. If the CT pistol goes the way of MIBR, then they can get back into the game quick, smart. EG, what have they got for us? A couple of sets of util. And a P250 in the hands of Junior, looking to be the money man, the point man, and that has worked out. 2-tap. HexT finding one bink and Junior to finish, but can they follow through for more?
Setting out with the advantage, EG looking to follow it up, and good shots landed on towards Brenner. A lot of damage done, and they're going to be drifting that defense back over towards CT. The bomb is looking for a B play, and autimatic has already got himself out into the side. Jeorge could even start a lit flank. He could cut off rotations here. And with autimatic so deep already in the site, I don't know if they're going to be ready for that. And he's going to be able to strike on the first, nearly the second low HP player falling. The bomb has gone elsewhere. Through the connector, it will run. Drops. Stands behind the triple stack. Oh. Good shot. That's the bomb rolling to his feet. He's not here alone. He's got Exit. And Exit rips their heads off. EG had the B site. They barrel back to A, and they run into a strong defense lying in wait.
It's a rough mid round because Jeorge is in jungle and he hears a guy rotate B, but and they saw a guy short as well, so you're thinking that's the third guy going B, so guys just come back and he's holding off the rotate, but that's not the right info, not the right call really in that situation, especially if you have autimatic already down in the site. You know, it's like you're going back up connector long range against USP, so I think that was just a bad mid-round call from EG, overcomplicating it, right? If you already have Jeorge in that position, he can still cut off rotation from A to B, or he can just also play. When you start jumping out into the B bomb side, he can come flanking, and you know they can't hold everything at the same time. MIBR also, EG had information that they gushed a couple of guys, so I feel like you want to just group and make sure you get those trades.
That's the power of the USP.
And now it can get weird. MIBR did just enough in the first half to give themselves a fighting chance.
That's an ball.
Somehow sneaks with the Glock and gets a kill on safe. So this game is not over yet.
No, it is not.
11-4, the most dangerous scoreline, but
it is absolutely the most dangerous scoreline in the history of any scoreline. That's going to be a 6th round for MIBR. Sure, they lose one play to the Glock, but they are able to recover it.
This round is really important for EG. They don't necessarily need to win it, but they need to start doing damage and plant the bomb so they can keep buying, keep putting the pressure on MIBR. The one thing that you don't want to see now if you're EG is a clean round for MIBR. You know, 4 guys staying alive, no bomb plant, because then they're starting to get their money up, confidence. It's another eco then for you if you're EG. All of a sudden it's 11-8 and they're doing really well.
Oh, Walco not ready for the aggression coming off the back of the nade there, and MIBR are going to be very happy with the position they're in. Upgrade for potentially one of those members if they go and grab that weapon, but safe. He's just going to go for the big flank. They've read the A hit. They know this util's coming through, and the members from EG are getting picked apart, picked to shreds. Oh, Jeorge! Oh, only able to find one there. The spray, it looked good, but he just couldn't bring it back. HexT on 51 points out. autimatic, no birthday luck. Oh, but he might get a birthday fuck up in Palace.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's definitely how you could put it, Mac. It's not going too well for him at the moment. And EG, that 11-4 scoreline is shrinking very, very quickly.
This is now MIBR's game, sort of to lose, almost to an extent. And that sounds counterintuitive, considering, you know, they're still 11-7 down, probably going to be 11-8, but still down. But you look at the last 5 rounds of the first half and how this second half started there on what? 6-1 run, soon to be 7-1 run in the last, you know, 8 rounds. And you can see how loud they're getting. So here it's about EG showing us what they're made of and showing a little bit of that mental fortitude and the fact that the momentum is on MIBR's side. you know, you still have a big lead. Show us what you have on that T side, and despite their confidence and their economy, you know, show us that you're able to win a couple of gun rounds in a row, step up and close this game out.
Well, 4 rounds the gap now. EG almost starting another travesty of a round. The nade tickling Jeorge into the corner, and he's cooking in the kitchen. What's the Jeorge taste like? That's the question people are asking.
Chewy. Here we go. Pushing towards the side. It is going to be Exit sitting behind triple, or rather ticket, and he's just going to take his time. That is Insani and Breno are killing everybody, so he'll take his time, peek out, collect Walco, and that's it. That's going to be a goal completed, is getting the bomb down.
But I think you also need to take note of how MIBR has started this CT side, right? First gun round, 4 players up mid, pushing up mid. They left A completely. They killed the one guy. Then all of those players come back to A and immediately start fighting for A. They're not sort of letting EG plant the bomb, post up, all of that stuff. Then against the half by aggressive move into B apps. They're really getting into EG's face. They're bullying them, you know, being down in the game. So it can be really disturbing, I guess. You know, EG needs to find their footing here. And if MIBR keeps playing that way, you need to punish them.
Boost down into Con. Oh, but it's
Another
safe
opening.
with the pressure.
Yeah, it's autimatic getting caught by that one. Safe just runs through the
Look at
underpass.
Breno.
Junior's trying to cut off that fallback, and he'll do it. Now he'll heat up behind those top boxes, and yeah, Breno has already pushed all the way through the apartments.
This round's over.
So much map control lost, but there's still a chance, Yanko. We've got to give them a shot on this A play. If they're quick.
I don't think so. He just has really good timing on this flank, and he's not stopping. And MIBR should stop blocking them on A at this point. Well, they don't have any utility really anymore, so just let them come, and Breno will take care of the rest with the flank.
I'm loving the positioning too. Sandwich as well as Shadow.
There
Solid
he is.
crossfire
That's the bomb
to
as
deal
well.
with the bust, and that's not even happening. Bomb goes down, and that might be the round of the bag. 50 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, they would have to have gone a little quicker than what they did, and Breno is the player that unravels the whole plan. And now Junior must decide, okay, where am I going to save this AWP? That's going to be a 9th round for MIBR. So 11-4 to 11-9, and it feels like it's happened in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. Must be
And I
a
have
confidence breaker.
And you need to do better than that. If you're autimatic, that just you died very cheaply there. You know, he sort of wasn't even ready for that fight underground, and you have to be focused in, you know, locked in really, especially in those defaulty rounds, right? When you're the only guy, you give up so much, and that's a really difficult. You're really making your life difficult for your in-game leader, right? You lose all information there. A guy has pushed up underground. You lose all control. It seemed like almost he wanted to kind of pre-fire like jiggle peek, but
Yeah.
you get caught in the spray. You know, he just couldn't really fight back in that duel. Safe just takes him down, sprays him down.
Not only was this 11-4, but it was also 10-1, right? So it has just been MIBR sort of in control of this game for quite a long period of time now.
Oh, this game's interesting to you now, Dinko?
Yeah, it is. It's become interesting now that there's a couple of teams playing in this one, rather than just the one-sided affair.
Well, EG looking to go all in with a late lurk from Walco at mid. Don't have a large amount of util. Well, they've gone out A main with just that single flash. Slotting into Sandwich. The smoke as well under Shadow. No exits here, but he's going to fight for himself. Flash across the top, supporting util from MIBR. Looking damn good, and still exits alive. Another flash for him to thrive, and he's not found anything as EG. They fall back into main.
Ooh. Not too far off there, Junior. MIBR taking mid-control together. Breno is the player walking up, and Walco is just sitting behind those top mid boxes. Breno won't go any further. We won't force that issue. drop back to safety inside of Con.
Look at this angle. The space that Save has. I mean, there's no way they check this. It's a free kill. Sees the bomb, smoke, run away now.
And Walco does get that mid-fight. So Insani's gone, and EG, 30 seconds left, and there's not a whole lot of options left for them. They must go through the underpass and try and get up through that connector into the A site for a last-ditch effort. And the setup here is quite strong. So Drop's got the window. He can quickly rotate over towards jungle to help with Breno, who's playing at top Gone. And if they come through the window, they would have to hope for a shot like that. Autimatic. Oh,
Okay.
Walco as well. And suddenly, 10 seconds left. They have to start planting. Exit could still unravel all of this. And Junior peeks into him. Couldn't go for the plant. Decides to fight. And Exit with the 4K.
How about that noise from MIBR?
I don't know if that's just from the players or if it's coming from the couches as well. There's a little viewing party going on over there.
Oh, you really thought that was like they're going to steal it away, EG. A couple of 6 shots from autimatic and Walco, but Exit, great timing to peek, finds the all 3 kills, and 11-10 now with EG on a half buy. But I mean, I hate to say it.
That's the confirmation. That sound was certainly coming from the couches.
Well, Hex, you caught that one in your back pocket, and now comes this A-pop. Tech9s and Galil's thrown into the mix, and Exit this time. He gets absolutely destroyed by Hex.
Put
The replies are there from Safe and Insani, and the smokes are up. So EG, they're still not comfortable at any point here. There's just so many players. It feels like an infinite conveyor belt of players arriving at CT spawn. Kill after kill, we're all tied up. 11-11.
That's the B player. Already
at CT.
Already at CT, you know, just relentless from MIBR, and Hex pre-fires really Exit as he got him in the previous round. But that previous gun round is what bothers me, you know. Hex is out, like they're doing this sort of an A execute, and he's in sandwich, and his players are, you know, his teammates are still in ramp, and no one pushes with him. They don't try to take any space. They sort of just bow out from that round, and that doesn't really show you any confidence. While MIBR keeps making these plays, keeps making moves on the CT side.
Here's Safe's up again in the underpass. Autimatic does not die this time on the opening turn of the round.
And he's pushing too. Pre-scoped, waiting, maybe able to find a timing. He's hearing a lot here from Jeorge over towards apartments. And EG aren't fully sure of what they're doing, running back and forth, and oh, knife out, autimatic. Oh, there's that fight we were waiting for at the start of the round.
Yeah, it comes in. Safe's patience pays off, and now he's trying to retreat back up towards the window. The movement fumbled a little. Must use a smoke for defensive purposes. They have retreated for a mid. They will relent, and now they'll go back in towards this B setup, and Drop is the only player within the site. He must do a lot of work here as they drop in towards him. He's got the rifle at the ready, and they're creeping ever closer. Breno's made the rotation over, and once again, MIBR with a speedy rotation, making the difference.
Whoa,
but Hex,
hello!
Okay, wallbangs and double kills, and Hex doing everything he can, and there's just one more needed. He's put a Hex on them. Some magic, a dark curse perhaps for Hex, as a perfect clutch is collected, an ace with all 5.
Man's had to do that himself. 24 and 12 now. It was a while between drinks for him after a stellar start to that first half, being that B-site player. But now, you know, back where he feels comfortable on that B-site, able to just tear MIBR apart for that first round for EG to maintain the lead. Bit of heat on it.
If only we could have caught that double wall bang.
All right. Wasn't a wall bang, it was a collateral, but yeah.
Oh, I don't know, I haven't seen
It was a
so.
wallbang, wasn't it? He shot through the wood.
I don't think so. No, he shot him through. Well, maybe actually. We'll find out in the replay.
Okay.
That's what they're there for.
Get that one
everybody.
sorted.
You gotta give the replay guy something to do, Rush, right? You otherwise you'd be out of a job if you were perfect every time.
He's been working overtime this event, but nice early aggression from MIBR on mid, finding Jeorge.
George Washington.
That was a great round for Hex, but you know, still he was the only guy left alive, so you can see the buy a couple of Galils in there. Not a lot of utility left, and now in a 4v5, it's always about winning consecutive rounds. We talk about it time and time again. If they can't convert here, MIBR back in the driver's seat.
Seems like we've got a few NA fans in chat. Really, they were quiet for a while there, but they all showed back up for that one. Understandably, great play.
Here when it's good, gone when it's bad. Still could just immediately fall flat after that big Hex round, though. Because you lost their first player, you lost Jeorge. 40 seconds left, but this B side seems like the prime opportunity.
You're 5v4 MIBR, you don't need to play 4A. Even with that smoke.
Oh, they might just walk through that, right? The boost over the top. Oh, HexT is looking crispy. That's ridiculous. Now the AWPs come over. Breno on that double AWP. He'll be posting that up at short, misses the shot, and now they know exactly what they're up against. It's 15 seconds, though. Breno, he could just run out and try and deny, but he runs right into Hex, so it's an easy pick there in the end for HexT, who's now 26 kills. And for MIBR, that gamble to stack over towards A has not paid off, and so they must lick their wounds and cut their losses and drop a little further back for the save call. That's going to be 13 rounds. EG, got to thank HexT for keeping them in this game right now.
There
Yeah,
it is.
great shot from him.
Do we have that replay? I'd love to see it right now.
I don't know why they're overthinking this. I know they had two guys sort of B apps getting some deep info early on, but you're in a 5v4. You have two ops, right? Retakes are going to be hard. Just play the sides, you know, play standard, play 3-2, and I think this was really MIBR sort of gifting EG this round. I take a timeout here, maybe, even if I'm bit. I don't know if you should still have at least one, I think. And just sort of tell them, hey, you're owning them, really. Don't overthink it. Let's just play standard. Keep doing your thing. Now their money is almost depleted, too. And EG is at 13. They will be able to buy the next round, no matter what.
Well, EG have been finding quite a bit of success towards that B bomb side in the last few rounds here, so no surprise to see more of a lean towards that side of the map. Walco out behind these top mid boxes, waiting for that short push, and well, there's a push coming, but it's not from short. Insani's down in the underpass, covering off his teammate of Breno.
With Breno there as well, there is that chance of a late boost up if they do get the info of Walco's position here, but looks like it's going to be that
check automatic. Oh my goodness, automatic gets a double in the underpass. Comes away with Insani and Breno. That's an overperformance, overachieving, and Safe gets caught with nades in hand. Fumbles it. It must be drop. Hero or zero here for MIBR. He would have to step up with one of the best anchor rounds we have seen, and the first few bullets go away. He's going to need a little bit more than that, and it won't happen. Hex just rips him apart. Exit must run away, and it is now EG up 14-11. They have found a second wind.
Some more work for the replay operator in this round.
I would just like to say replay operator has done nothing wrong here. There may have been a robot situation.
Oh.
If I speak, I am in big trouble. Big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble.
Are you at gunpoint, Rush?
Okay, Mourinho.
We'll come and save you, Rush.
Do you need me to come and whack him?
iRobot, we got to worry about iRobot. 14-11. What a turnaround for EG. And the timeout is now through. It is the last timeout for MIBR, so Bit will have his final say.
Yeah, Safe can buy an AWP here, so might not even be bad for him to buy an AWP and for the rest to buy pistols, and that way you try to steal this round somehow. But even if you lose it next round, you know, he can get an AWP from someone and a player can play with an MP9 perhaps. That way you're sort of giving a chance to yourself in both rounds to make something happen. I think it's just a weird feel. You lost a 5v4 because you played 4A, and then autimatic gets a double entry when you have players set up underground. You know, I feel like that was strange, because the guy who was supposed to watch underground was the second one to die. I don't know what was going on with MIBR there. Maybe he pulled a nade at an inopportune time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that. Yeah, there's just a couple of moments here that just slightly missed from MIBR. They created the chances for EG, and they have taken them. And maybe Safe can get something magic out of his AWP. But that is the only hope and dream here for MIBR. They shot the first on the A play. It is exactly where you want them to go, though, isn't it? MIBR stacking the A site. EG setting up for an A execute. This is the best chance for MIBR to win this round.
Exit. Hitting the ground there and won't be able to find that palace control, which would have been so damn crucial. But as you mentioned, the stack is here and Safe. He's hitting. That's going to be all the bomb on the ground. And EG, they have to go out to find that. Junior connecting onto Insani and Breno.
What's happening?
He's been found over towards Firebox.
This is wild that EG are getting this scrappy into the round. The bomb is loose, and that's the problem right now. They are fully fixated on trying to get that back, and Breno is creeping ever closer, and that might make this scope uncomfortable. Junior is paranoid about Safe, and so that reveals a chance for Breno. He will absolutely take it, and Safe is repositioned, waiting for the Palace exit. He still has Drop, but Drop doesn't have much in hand. It is just that USP still for him. But Safe will be watching for the cross into the site, knowing that the bomb is still dropped towards ramp. They would have to cross in front of his scope if they want to put that bomb down. And so a nice reposition from Jeorge to climb over the scope. Figures out the Safe is likely there, but here's the flank from Drop. If he can get one of those weapons down in the ramp side, this flank might work out for him. There's a rifle, there's an AWP, and 9 seconds left. That's the bomb. You have to get it back, or you have to get the kill. You have to get the kill, and it isn't going to happen. Drop gets around the corner, and MIBR pull off a ridiculous round. Daylight robbery from EG.
He's done it. He's ran at him. Why has he done that? Good couple of questions that everyone probably has. EG still in the lead and still with a bit of cash to play with, but that was an unfortunate one, but a lovely position and timing. Drop that shot, saving the day and maybe bringing it back a little bit closer to that 2-0 for MIBR.
I think this had to have been a timeout from EG, you know, losing such an emotionally difficult round. You want to just give your players a breather and try to kill that momentum from MIBR. I think they have some timeouts left. For me, this is like the worst thing that EG can do. After you lose that round, you're sort of playing a slow default. Like, your players are not gonna be super, there's a missed smoke. Like, they're not gonna be super confident to take initiative. No one wants to be the guy that dies first now and sort of makes you lose an important round.
Oh, like cross in the open. Walco is that player to die first. Breno traded by Junior, though. Automatic battle scarred as he hides under the window. 50 seconds, under 1 minute left. That bomb still positioned to top middle for EG. Looks like their best chance here is possibly that A split. You've got HexT up in Palace, who can get a couple of plays into the connector. You could even have autimatic try and climb the window late into the round here. Let's see what call they make. Up the connector they go. Jeorge sends the molly at short. Exit plays at CT in a crossfire with Insani. It's going to work out for Insani's first kill. Drop coming in as well. And MIBR looking damn solid on this hold. The defense is going nowhere, and HexT is now the last remaining player with 15 seconds left. No hope in the world at winning the round, so he's gone. He's naded out, and it's 13 for MIBR.
In the dying moments as well. They will have to... What do we got here? We got EG probably looking for a half buy, maybe go for the full investment in the next. Are they going to take the risk and go
now
for the
they take a timeout.
Yeah, at this point,
really need to,
a round too late, right?
I think this is something, you know, it's a little bit of inexperience. You need to, it's all about momentum, and you needed to have taken a timeout in the previous round.
Do you feel like it might be a little bit of inexperience from a young coach like Axe, right? For knowing when to call that timeout, you know, a more experienced coach might come in and ask his teammates to call for it?
Yeah, that's just why I just said it might be the inexperience. You're listening to me, Dinko?
Yeah, but I'm saying as, you know, specifying
no, yeah,
about the coach
of course,
himself.
Yeah, sure, but you know, I didn't really want to shit on the guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like directly say, oh, this guy's his fault, Dinko. But if you really want to make it about that,
I mean, let's not. I mean, you're
think
handing out
just
to everybody
about-
else, Yanko. I thought I might as well focus in on the.
You need to
problem.
deny them that momentum, and especially in that previous round, you can't play around after losing in the way they did. That can't be the call for the previous gun round, and it was bound to fail, and it failed. And now it's difficult. Now you took a timeout at this half by to say something, but this round is tough to win just straight out of freeze time. So, and then if you take another timeout at 14-14 because you have one more left, they had 2 left. Now they have 1 left. Well, then you've taken 2 timeouts, 2 rounds in a row. I think that's also you're adding some nerves to your players. You don't want to overdo it either. So a little bit of fumbling tactically, it feels like, or strategically towards the end of this game for EG, and we'll see if they can snap out of it. Perhaps still this round. Who knows?
Perhaps, Mac. What are you feeling? You got EG winning this one, Mac. Make a prediction right now as this B play is about to commit.
Group B, man, it's just been crazy. I have no idea how it's going to go, but let's see if the Tech-9 is going to be what's doing it for EG. Doesn't look like it. Numbers here in MIBR are all set up. Playing
why is Dyla keep
Not one
doing
of those
this?
again. The right clicks, they're deadly, they're fatal, but so are primary weapons in MIBR. They got lots of them, as well as a 14th round, securing the fact that we're going all the way to the end of regulation here.
Well, 14-14. EG. Is there any other player that can step up and give you that big clutch? That opportunity. You've had a golden ticket already to close out this map. Now this is the final chance. The AK-47s, the Galil, the AWP, everything you could need coming into round 29. For EG, this round is more important because obviously no money left over. MIBR has some residual cash.
MIBR playing heavy towards that jungle side. First line of defense will be exit. Here at Sandwich, just waiting for that smoke to fade. We'll see if he repositions. But with where EG currently are...
This could be a contact play. Looks like straight out and towards this A site. And Exit's playing a sandwich is a good spot for it, actually. Hex crosses over. Ooh, Exit really should have got that one, but Hex with a Galil able to pepper him up. And now Insani's turned over the top of the stairway, peels away with 1 kill. I thought he was about to turn on automatic. Missed shot from Sick, and EG are going to be grabbing 15 rounds. They just hit the shots, essentially. That's all it comes down to. They just win every jewel they take.
Couple of bangers. Barely even using that util, just the top con smoke, bottom con smoke as well. And now they're looking to try and rip this AK out of the hands of Drop, who's scurrying away right now. There's certainly timing there. So EG will find their 4th for the half, but they need a 5th to close it and take us to a 3rd. There it is. Crispy ones from Jeorge. Looks like they the replays are back online too. Hey, Rush.
The bot did well there.
Beautiful. You can't call Jeorge a bot, man. Not like that. That's just toxic.
Not Jeorge, man. Come on.
Well,
Not Jeorge.
Poor Rush getting
right.
thrown under the bus here, Rush.
Of course.
We know. I know what you meant, Rush.
Yeah, thank you, Dinko.
Contextually, though, you just can't, you know. Georgie Porgy getting his pudding and pie, and maybe Mirage in the bag as well.
Yeah, that really could be a map 3 out of nowhere here for EG. They haven't had the best T side. I think there's no denying that, but they've had their little individual moments that have just about got them to this point, but it still could be OT. In fact, it might be the most likely outcome here for Exit on the double kill. Safe over the top of the ticket, punches George's, and now it's Junior out of Palace. 2v3, and so much time left in this round. HexT is pushed into jungle, comes away with a pick on Breno. It is now a 2v2 and a lot of time still left.
Where do they want to go? Bomb down, Junior worried about grabbing it. And it's Insani to try and lock it down, but he's given the objective, still a minute on the clock, and will reposition to Pal instead to try and get in between both the EG members. Meanwhile, you've got Drop slowly but surely rotating in from CT. But with all this time and no information, EG might just get in their own heads here. Junior now in a dangerous position, and HexT not in a great spot to try and trade, but that can all go down to the timing. Shadow, it's seen, and we are locking in OT.
Well, EG barely survived, but they managed to get to 15, and it felt like MIBR were coming for the 2-0 in regulation. The opportunity to 2-0 reopens for the Brazilians. As we head into overtime, they will start on the CT side of OT, and here is EG again facing the T side of Fair. Now, a lot of those rounds picked up by individual moments. How many have they got here in the bonus rounds? Good start from Save.
Able to find the mid control, but MIBR going heavy on the extremities. Ooh, insani. Going for a fish through the smoke there, and EG posturing to make their way into B up short. How's the timing? There's no smoke denying the vision. It's just the flashes in insani. Going to be completely tearing him a new one. Breno chiming in, and MIBR flawless in the first of OT.
Do you feel like now we got the overtime, Yanko, it does feel like MIBR are just going to have the extra pieces to close this one out?
I think so. I mean, they're the ones who managed to come back, really. They were 11-4 down at the half, so momentum is on their side.
Definitely felt like they've been the better team ever since sort of they took that control away from the good start that EG had. EG leaning towards B against one of their standard B defaults to leave Walco out towards top mid, and they will start setting up into under around the apartments. Autimatic and Jeorge walking together through the underpass. No movement from MIBR. Comfortable just holding their positions out of spawn. This one's going to be a bit of a stalemate for at least the first few moments, but EG shaping up for a B hit. And the rotation is a little far off for drop, so kind of has to perform on his own here. The AWP from Save can come back in, but likely to be smoked out at short side.
Window smoke
utility will start to come in.
And there's plenty still for EG to just burn the hell out of this B site. Plenty of mollies, and they're going everywhere. No one able to stand close. It's all backside, all short. They got to worry about, and Drop, he's done his job. Safe chiming in as well.
Yeah, that's the bomb dropped as well, right in the vision of Safe. So got to use up that smoke to get him away from that. Severs his information flow. And Jeorge is pushing up in behind the smoke. A good flash, really good play here to set up Jeorge to leap through that smoke, take that fight, and pulls the AWP out of it. He'll drop back to safety with the rest of his teammates into this post plant, and autimatic sends the shot right through insani. They know that Brennan's coming in from short side, so they have the information of at least one remaining player here, and Exit will reveal his position inside of the market. A great kill on Jeorge, but Evil Geniuses, I feel good about this. They got a player up in the apartments of Walco, and autimatic confirming Exit's spot again. Time will start to tick for Exit. The Brazilian in-game leader has to find a way back into this one, and the time is kind of eluding him at this point. He's not getting those kills. He's not getting that chance, and that is now going to be 16-16, all tied up again.
Just going that little bit too slow. Will fall to the bomb, but EG taking a round is crucial if they want to take a W here in OT. I was a little curious with that double op setup in the post plant. Thought it could have been an undoing for EG there, but all's well that ends well.
That was a great play from Jeorge. Also after that kill, not really chasing the second guy, even though he was blind, and just picking up the op and falling back and playing the percentages. Great awareness from him.
Oh, it's another quick beast setup here for EG. It's a back-to-back, same round, really. Breno is going to bring the secondary AWP over to the apartments to try and deal with that B threat instead of leaving Drop just kind of as that jump spotter. So the defense is adjusted to the same play, and it's worked out pretty well here. It's an opening kill from Breno. That's going to give MIBR the advantage to toy around with, at least for the time being. They've actually got a lot of control into his ramp here too. I feel very comfortable about those MIBR CT rounds so far. Breno can get his scope up to the window. Should be another one for him, and then you have sort of the attention drawn away from Drop, and that's a great fade time for Breno. Not so much for HexT. And now Breno hears those steps coming towards him. He's got the scope out, looking to wield that AWP in shotgun form. Breno with another close shot. And remember, Drop is still here. There's no real need for Breno to give up his life. If he just stays alive, it forces them to walk in towards him, and then Drop will have the chance. The bomb is down right in front of him too.
Why is everyone still on A? Now they're moving over towards B, but yeah, this should be an easy round for MIBR to close out.
Yeah.
Nice quick shot from Junior out.
Maybe the comms just taking a while to get through. However,
there's still a world in which they lose this, Mac.
Yeah, it's working out right now. EG all boils down to this timing for them. Can Junior make his way in? Walco, they knew that he was there. Breno, he's done his job in this round, but it's all down to how everyone else can do it. The flank comes through in the market just in time, and with the market control, they can get it planted. It's Junior to knock us into that second overtime.
Oh, they lost that one.
Oh, God.
That was a round locked in. Tied up, posted away.
I don't know what's going on. Why are they were in A for so long? Like, no one was rotating B.
Yeah.
Breno was killing people. He kills the bomb. Like, there's more utility being thrown by the opponents.
It's the fact that Junior doesn't have to take the shot because Walco gets the kill right. And then he's able to keep that flank going. It goes all the way around the back of market. Oh, that is a terrible round to lose for MIBR.
That might just seal the game for EG.
Yeah, remember MIBR in that first half on the T side. Things took a while to get going for them.
This was actually the strat that won them the first gun round. So let's see if it works again in OT.
Ridiculous.
Smokes mid, and now they just walk out on timing.
They go out at the top of Palace, dropping down. Perfect two openers here for MIBR, but let's see, it could still all go wrong. Autimatic gets a double. Puts it within touching distance here for his teammates. It's certainly doable. Hex has broken that 30 bomb barrier. You'd like a little more. Smoke up towards CT. It's not the best smoke, and actually will offer a chance to climb up, and Junior's so close to that second shot through the smoke. But it is going to be dropped, cleared out by Hex. Just exit now left. He's got a molly for this post plant, but it's suddenly flipped back once again to EG. And Exit is going to hold and gets an easy peek there. It is going to be Junior to take that frag. 18 rounds for EG. MIBR, once again, a favorable post-plant scenario, and it goes the other way.
I think we're witnessing a meltdown live on stream, really, from MIBR. First that 5v2, and now also 3v2 post-plant. Why is Safe taking that peek in the 3? Why is this, what is this peek for? Stairs are mollied, like the bomb is planted for CT. What's the rush?
Yeah, meltdown, I think. You know, found themselves in back-to-back advantageous positions. Here's this boost. Might work out for MIBR here, but won't count against the speed of Junior. Sees the crossover and, yeah, puts himself in a almost unwinnable position there once you've committed that far wide.
Caught in between decisions, of course. Unfortunate for him. But MIBR unable to put a foot wrong here. If they want to make their way into another OT, it's only EG that can close here in OT number 1. Oh, and Drop almost tears them both apart here in apartments. Good trades. 2 alive though, and I'm not counting EG out just yet. There you go, autimatic, slot and 1 on the safe. 2v3, still achievable.
I think they're way out of position. Doesn't look like they're really even going for it.
Double overtime. Calling it now. We're going to see it. MIBR are going to make this T side comeback, destined to go forever. Walco getting closer, but Exit has found himself a comfortable position around the corner. Actually, just gives him the peek. A couple of times that's happened now, but this time it's ticking, and Walco's still running for it. There's no way he gets away with this. There's surely no way, and it won't happen. Autimatic will carry the AWP over. And that is going to be a 17th round now for MIBR. 1 away from tying things up and going again for a second bout of overtime. This was Junior peeking into save. Quite comfortable for him. And that is the final timeout being used for EG.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Autimatic has a good spawn. He has one of the two ops. Actually, both hoppers have the two best spawns. So we'll see what is it that they decide to do. Does Autimatic maybe try to jump cat? Do they go for an underpass play? Maybe a fast B boost? That might be the timeout, sort of just organizing everything around some of that early aggression. Nice job by our context observer. This is not Rushley doing this.
No, this is Jeorge.
Shout out
Not a
Jeorge.
robot, not a
Shout out
robot.
Jeorge. He doesn't get a camera or anything fancy,
what
but
doesn't Jeorge get?
and he
Mike?
doesn't get any time off. But we all talk about his rush.
Oh, air
what a
strike.
counter!
That's how you get a nice pick to
This is
take
the first time they did these nades, no?
Birthday surprise, birthday bangers.
Wow. What a way to start off the last round. EG just took a timeout as well.
All right, guys, Automatic's going to go peek. The bottom of the connector is going to be great. It's going to be how we start this round. It's going to be a 6-start.
Look
Boom.
at this position, though. Jeorge as well. He wasn't too phased by that. Heard them potentially running away from top mid and might be able to work on a flank later on in the round. So top mid control, crucial for EG, especially with the man disadvantage. But MIBR will see if they're going to be able to lock it down for double OT, or if Walco can hold here from default. He's the only man at A. If he falls, that should be the round, but we'll see what EG have for us. They have to go for it.
Yeah, well, we have seen MIBR lose more favorable rounds than this, so we'll see if they can pull this one off. A 5 versus 3 will put nothing beyond them for now as Jeorge starts his flank around the back of Palace. Perhaps he'll start his reign as he's looking into the head of Insani. That's going to be a free kill. Gotta take it eventually, Jeorge. There we go. Headshots in. Second chance. Oh, the sandwich kill is in, and now a 2 versus 3. Perfect position for the molly. That'll force Breno into the open. Big headshot. Focused on the jungle pick. And now it is just Jeorge doing everything he can, but it will not be enough. MIBR survive. Even after a few rounds go away, it is still them to tie things up. 18-18. Double overtime.
Crazy scenes. And MIBR straight back into the game. Almost not, though. That molly, I loved that. The fact that Breno was able to get a pick swinging out of it on the jungle player of EG.
And that was EG's last timeout too. So now both teams out of timeouts, coaches out of this game at this point. 10 players on the server are the only ones who can impact things now. And I feel like MIBR really managed to salvage, you know, that first OT. They had a 5v2 that they lost, a 3v2 that they lost.
I mean, EG have had all the chances, right, to close it out. Multiple opportunities to get it done, and when you can't knock them out, you just can't get that final piece of the puzzle. You wonder if it even exists. Is it ever going to come for EG, or is it going to be an MIBR 2-0 victory? And they'll move on to have that second game of the day as well. I mean, that is a talking point in and of itself, right? You want to, if you're the team having to play 2 games today, to get a 2-0 victory in the first, it would be ideal. Have as much time to reset and focus up for that later game. .40 seconds left in this round, and yet nobody has fallen. It is going to be MIBR walking up through short, though. And Breno, well, he's about to find Jeorge. Jeorge, hello.
Ooh.
Gone. And now HexT's turn. He has to step up from the back of the bench. He's had a good game so far, but it is just 1 for HexT.
Can EG bring this one back? And are they going to expect Insani on the lurk here, who's picked his timing perfectly? Eyes on the prize, though. Autimatic. Bringing it back to that 3v3, but the time it's ticking away real damn quick. MIBR. Look at these post plants. Safe, real close AWPing here. Over towards mid, over towards short, and misses his opportunity. EG are cooking.
Oh no, Safe with a missed shot, and now we've got to see Drop and Exit close this one out. Now it's only Exit up on top of the Ninja boxes, desperately looking left and right, and Walco around the corner. Another round pulled off by EG that looked locked in for MIBR. How many of those can MIBR take?
Well, a lot apparently.
Yeah, that's true.
They're still here. They're losing these rounds, but they're winning some other ones that matter. But those are the kind of rounds, right, Yanko, where you need to be locking them in.
You really do. It's a 4v3 post plant where insani is on the lurk and he loses out there, but that's the problem of such an all-in position by safe too. You miss that shot, you're dead. Then his teammates are boxed in the side. Just a couple of weird misses.
Lots of conversation going on from the players.
Well, it's about to be this walkout for MIBR. They're creeping ever closer into this A side. Insani will erupt the round with a headshot on Walco. Jeorge and autimatic making sure that revenge is felt. Insani goes down, and now Jeorge leaps behind the smoke from the bench, and the bomb plant is denied by autimatic. He sends that HE right towards default, but Brennan undetected. Sees Jeorge, had a second chance up towards the top of the stairway, but autimatic and Junior bring them down. And EG, 20-18, they come out in overtime too, looking fantastic.
They win it with util. There was a molly, I think, from Jeorge over towards default, forced whoever had the bomb over into firebox, and then the nade placed perfectly on his face, thanks to autimatic. So great rotations coming in. There it is. Good bowling. Straight off the backboard, slots it in.
It was a great utility and everything. That's why those post plants matter for MIBR. You're not going to get into the site every single time. You're not going to have that favorable situation. Now EG on the offensive.
Yeah,
going
straight up mid. Walco, he is hunting for this one. Oh, that could be the bomb on the ground, but Walco drops the ball at the wrong moment. HexT doesn't want to go too far, doesn't want to overcook it. How can EG bring this numbers a disadvantage back again?
I think a bullet just about went over the top of the head. That Jeorge is staying committed in middle, playing from the chair. And they're coming to mid, so he's gathering info on that they still have mid control. And MIBR are going to be repositioning all the way around towards A. If you take a look at this defense on A, there's no one there at the moment, and HexT is trying to come back up through connector. He'll smoke out Palace. It's only a matter of time before MIBR's full execute rains down on that site. So the move here for HexT is either you play on the side of the bench and hope you can pick up one, or just drop back and play retake. But they're down a player here.
Well, boost. He's chosen the option that wasn't even there. Jeorge across the top is going to be able to pick off insani, and then might even go for more. Ooh, wasn't quite spotted with that flash over towards jungle, and oh, the open plant now for MIBR. Where are they going?
autimatic on the flank. I see how MIBR can hold on to this post plant.
They need to create some space for him, right? Junior has a smoke, 2 flashes. He needs to start using that utility now. They need to start peeking slowly, so autimatic is going abs. There's no time for this, I don't think.
Well, maybe he can bring down one, but they've got to get moving elsewhere. There's autimatic's kill. Junior follows up, and now it's just Breno. They've somehow done it again. They have to get onto the defuse, and they clear it out. Junior's on the defuse, and Evil Geniuses coming back in with another successful retake. A flawless first half of overtime, too. And now a lot of chances here to take this one to a third map. This is wild how many post plants MIBR have kind of messed up on both sides of the fence.
I think it will prove to be one too many. Really, I feel like this is where EG will be able to close out and take us into a third map.
Okay. Let's see if they can. Or if MIBR dig deep here on the CT side. It's a faster approach. EG with a shift in pace. And looking to get a line found onto insani here, who's been a thorn in the side of EG as this con player. But they haven't been able to find him yet. Refresh on that window, smoke, the creep in, insani controlling jungle. But you can see that bomb as well, still positioned over towards Palace. So it might be a late split towards A for EG. Walco starting to make his way up connector. But when does that contact come through? I'm looking at safe. I'm looking at this aggressive A main position and what he can do to go in behind enemy lines once EG take this A site.
Insani waits a jungle. Smoke will be too deep from the CTs to really make it uncomfortable for Walco and HexT, who will just start walking out through connector now. Insani turns back, nearly gets there in time, but just couldn't get his crosshair in the right place before Walco rips his head off. And now they cross over to Safe, who's playing on ramp side. They do have a decent enough crossfire between him and Exit, but it's now broken apart, forcibly removed. And Safe has no sanctuary on top of Tetris. The fire comes in and just burns that away. And now the taps are drop. What is happening here? They've given a chance on over, drop it short side. Shots just land, autimatic has to go deep into CT, and now they're floundering. There's 20 seconds left. Safe is still alive inside of the ramp. There's so many areas they have to worry about, and it's the X-Furia combo looking to win this retake because they have allowed that bomb to go down. Oof. Over the top, drop again, goes to the silencer once more. And Junior just standing on default. What a clutch this would be to close out map 2 and force a third. Junior, not the most comfortable position for the AWP, but he's going for it. Misses too many shots here, and that will cost him his life. It's not done yet. MIBR survive for at least a round more.
There's been a few times where we've seen Junior crumble under the pressure today.
Yeah.
In those odd positions, stuck on the corners, just missing those quick flicks, which he is mostly known for. You see him historically, usually thriving under the pressure, but today it feels like something's off. A couple of cracks showing, and maybe that is the start for MIBR to get back into the game.
And you can see the chaos and a little bit of confusion from EG going for that cat plant when, I mean, cat is open, the player can be there. You don't know where the third guy is. That's the B player, so...
Well, frustration seeping through for EG there. And MIBR, what are we going to see from them? This close A main setup, again, has been very successful. Junior waiting for someone to put one step too far through the A main arch. Creep in, Walco. Jiggling on his own, spacing not great, but they will change that. Jeorge going to be going through, but insani fighting too. And MIBR inches from 20.
Yeah, that's a great start of the round for Insani. But obviously a little bit more to do here for MIBR to close this round out. For Evil Geniuses, really at the bottom of the barrel with options here. Trying to figure out how they can get back into this. They've got quite a bit of utility left. They have pumped the brakes for just a moment longer. They might get out before that smoke. Safe did see that peek out ramp. Insani is then told to go and kill. And autimatic will feel the wrath of the AK-47 in the hands of Insani. He wants more. Insani so close to the 4K, but the no scope from Junior is there. Just stop shooting, perhaps even ran out of ammo, but it's Junior and HexT now on a 2v4. Doesn't feel like this is going anywhere for EG.
That one hurts for Insani. Junior looking a bit more accurate without the scope this round.
Not as much as it hurts for EG, Mac, because now they... How many bloody opportunities are they going to have to close this game out and just not do it?
At least 6 more. At least 6 more, if not 7 if you include this final round of this half of OT. OT number 3 on the horizon. Unless EG pull themselves together and close it out right here, right now. Still that opportunity. But the rounds have not been looking too crash hot here on the T side for them. Mid control will be taken. Thank you. Thank you, J-Raz. Just so you know. They have to make noise if they take that mid control. If they even put anyone in window, it feels like EG haven't gone for that approach too much. When they're going to the sites, they're just going up con and splitting A or going up short and splitting B. No real late flanks through market. There might have been 1 or 2 rounds where that happened.
I think when you want to have such a setup on A, this is a good adjustment, right? Because the rotation is slow towards B and you're deep ramp and you let the op like play these long angles, but in case they do boost up and try to go behind, you know, Safe would have to watch out for that, and now you have a sound cue, which makes it easier to play the setup they have on the A side.
That molly just barely missing the mark there.
That's a heavy nade as well. Here we go, EG. B-Pop, if Drop can do something about this, MIBR might be looking at another overtime, but he whips completely, and so does Bruno. Have EG finally done it?
This is it.
Map 3 looks surely locked in. Safe and Exit have to come back in on a 2v4 retake attempt. They must go for it, but it doesn't look like it's going to be happening here. We needed more out of Drop if we were to get another overtime out of this. And Bruno fails to connect from the bench. Not enough done from the B setup. And EG have finally broken through. A disastrous first map. And it could be disaster yet here in this round. Safe with a kill, but they've got to get moving quickly. And now Safety is alone. It really shouldn't go anywhere else but map 3. Nuke will be the decider. EG survive. Map 1, a disaster, but a recovery on the second. EG are now here to play.